murder, treason, carnal abuse. All these judicial matters may require jurors, but in Jamaica, like elsewhere, many persons are fearful of serving as jurors. But in order to attain justice, citizens need to perform this critical civic duty. Many of us have found ourselves caught up in a gripping cinematic tale of hard-nosed prosecutors, avenging defense attorneys, and the case that was won or lost in the jury box. Though these fictional accounts are mostly inflated, their inspiration is usually grounded in some element of reality. A man or woman is charged for a crime, taken to court, the case is tried, and if guilt is determined, a verdict is handed down. True, the strength of the evidence ought to be the deciding factor, but all that is irrelevant if there is no one to ponder the facts and see that justice is done. This is why the Ministry of Justice is urging citizens to do their civic duty and attend court when summoned to serve as jurors.
It's very important that people, when asked to serve, are willing to do so, otherwise the system will grind to a halt.
Jamaica's jury system falls under the Court Management Service. It's a critical element of the country's justice system, and many who've been called to serve say they actually found it to be a liberating experience to take part in the execution of justice.
And in fact, those who do serve find it a very interesting and stimulating part of their life, that they have no regrets for having served. So I would encourage all Jamaicans who are asked to serve as jurors to do their best to serve.
A jury consists of ordinary citizens who are able to apply their common sense to the matter of determining the guilt or innocence of a fellow citizen accused of an offense. Under the guidance of the trial judge, jurors listen to the evidence presented and the case put forward by both sides. In private, they then deliberate as to whether they believe that the facts as they have heard them prove the guilt or innocence of the accused person. All serious offenses are tried by a Supreme Court judge sitting with a jury comprising 12 persons and 7 for other criminal offenses. Some offenses tried by a jury are manslaughter, rape and carnal abuse, robbery, arson, treason, and murder. Who can serve on a jury? Well, the Jury Act sets out which persons are qualified and eligible to serve on a jury. Those between ages 18 and 70, persons whose names are on the current voters list, and persons with a taxpayer registration number TRN, although selecting persons from the TRN list is yet to be put into practice. Government, meanwhile, is considering increasing the current daily stipend paid to jurors, which now stands at $500.
And the stipend, which was last fixed in 1998, we're hoping we'll be able to increase that to make it a little easier for people to attend.
As for excuses from jury service, and no, you have work is not a sufficient reason. Under the Jury Act, someone may be excused from jury duty if he or she is suffering from some illness. He or she can satisfy the court that his or her attendance will cause undue financial loss or hardship to him or herself or his or her employer. Or he or she can show some other good reason that the judge or magistrate believes is sufficient to excuse him or her from jury duty. But if you're selected as a juror, do attend the sittings, as the penalty for non-attendance is grave. A person who has been duly summoned for jury duty and who does not appear, or who appears but refuses to serve, or who withdraws from jury duty without the permission of the court or without good cause, may be fined $2,000. As the government seeks to increase the daily stipend for jurors, steps are also being made to make the penalties more onerous for those who fail to attend court for jury service in response to a summons, to align the penalties with the levels being imposed by current legislation.
So that persons who get served with a jury summons have to think twice about not turning up.
In addition, a person who makes a false statement with the intention of evading jury duty or helping another person to evade jury duty commits an offense and may be liable on conviction to a fine of up to $4,000 or 6 months imprisonment. Jury service is important to the proper functioning of our legal and justice systems. When called to fulfill our civic duty by serving as jurors, we must all do so responsibly. Through jury service, we are able to do our part to protect and defend the rights of all Jamaicans in a very direct way.